Hey everybody, it's Zach and I like movies. And the Oscars were last night and they were actually pretty good. Yeah. Usually I come out of an Oscars feeling more negative about it than positive, but this year was actually kind of close to great. I haven't been like this good out of leaving an Oscars since the year Parasite won. And especially because like this one felt really well done as like a show, because like it was paced very well. It clipped on very nicely. I'll get more into it, but like the bits were funny. The ratio of winners were like well chosen, a lot well deserved. I hardly felt really that upset watching it. Even I don't know what they were. I don't know what formula they were doing. Maybe it helped that they started an hour early, probably because there's some like, I don't know, like time daylight savings bullshit or something. But honestly, yeah, it was a really good show. I think all Oscars kind of strive to hit this kind of sweet spot. But yeah, I do have some things that I can complain about and things I didn't like. But I'll get into that first. Jimmy Kimmel. Why does he host? Why we keep bringing him back? I'm so tired of his shtick. I'm so bored anytime he comes up. Like, the show was paced pretty well, but like anytime it cut back to him, just crushed the flow. He makes 5 minutes feel longer than Killers of the Flower Moon, the whole movie. Like, God, I was groaning at these jokes. God, like, I really just think his attitude about the whole thing that really bothers me the most. I so hate it when there's a host of this show meant to celebrate movies and they make jokes about movies being too long or being a chore or only kids watch animated movies. I fucking hate this. Make it stop. Somebody get him off stage. But fortunately, he's not really on stage for too long. He really just kind of felt more like an MC than a host, which I think in some cases is kind of a better suit. Like, if you have a host like Jimmy Kimmel or Ellen DeGeneres, like it's better they just like pop in on occasion. But like if you have a host like, I don't know, Jon Stewart those 2 times, or Seth MacFarlane. I like when Seth MacFarlane hosted. That was good. Like, yeah, they feel like they're more trying to entertain the audience or something. But also in terms of like clipping the pace, the way they presented their acting awards was odd, because they did that thing where they brought out 5 previous winners and they let them talk to them, talk about their performance and their career, and like basically hype them up. And more often than not, the way they talked, who talked to which nominee, and the little speech they gave felt very nice. It was very sincere, very genuine. But more often than not, they like got a good person to like to talk to, like the way Rita Moreno talked to America Ferrera. That was really sweet. But like, it's the fact that they did this and didn't play the performance clips, which super bothered me, because one, the acting clips are like some of my favorite things they show at the Oscars when they show it. And like the fact that they did this and didn't show any of the performances, I was like, oh, we might be here a while if they do this all the time. But fortunately, I don't think it felt like too long, honestly. I feel like if they just did the clips, maybe it would have been like, if you didn't end at like 10:30, you would have ended like, I don't know, 10:15 maybe, what with ads and everything. But so yeah, it just felt awkward on occasion. And despite the effort, I do like the gesture that what they were doing. The in memoriam section was weird too, because of like how they shot it. Like they had like the big screen on front, and you had like the orchestra, and you also had the dancers, and then you had Andrea Bocelli and another guy come up, and they had the song on, but like the way they were filming, the way that the camera was on the big screen showing all the people who had passed was like way too distant, that I had to like squint and lean in. Like, wait, that's Richard Roundtree? That is Richard Roundtree. Okay, I forgot he died. Yeah, it was very awkward. I always feel like they should just like yeah, show who is singing the song or what have you, and then like full screen on like the broadcast, all the faces and the names, and like it was very weird. I feel like they're usually better about presenting the in memoriam section, so that stood out to me. But that's mostly as far as like complaints goes in terms of like the presentation goes. But let's get on to the good stuff. The good stuff is that the presenters themselves were actually were funny. Like John Cena walked on stage naked, and everyone liked that. Really good bit. He's got great comedic timing. I always feel weird, like, because like he's huge. He's a huge dude because he's John Cena, but like he always looks too unnaturally clean shaven for me. Like he just looks like a Ken doll, which is probably why he was in Barbie. But yeah, that was a really good bit. John Mulaney, aka guy who should be hosting all the time now, his whole like just going off about just going on about Field of Dreams, great, fantastic. Even Steven Spielberg got one of the best laughs, and he just like did a goofy reaction. That was great. But Nick Cage, when he was talking to Paul Giamatti about his performance of The Holdovers, just had a throwaway line, but it was so immediately great. It's so good. You know, when you were playing your role, you had wanted to get the wanted to get the lazy eye so long you had your contact in the whole time. You actually went blind in that one eye. Now, would I would have done that? Sure, but the point is, you did that too, Paul. Paul Giamatti, Nick Cage road trip movie when. But honestly, the best one, at least the one that got the hardest laugh out of me, was Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger presenting like 2 awards back to back, I think, and they had they were on stage reminiscing about being Batman villains, and they all, oh, we couldn't beat Batman, he's right there, and the cut to Michael Keaton. Oh, that killed me, because like for half a second I was like, oh, he's not into this, but then he was like, oh, he's into this, he's cool. Ah, that was a fantastic moment. Yeah, really good mix up. Felt like they actually had good writers for the presenters this year. And but yeah, as far as like the big wins go, they were really good ones. I also really thought that well, I don't think there was a whole lot of like more heavy and emotional speeches as you know, as often want to do. I do think there was like 2 really strong standouts there, and they all in terms of like a, you know, kind of you're having your little soapbox moment of like talking about like current events and stuff, like Miss do I have this right? Mstislav Chernov, his speech when he won for Best Documentary Feature for 20 Days of Mariupol. It's a documentary about the early days of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and you could, it was a great speech because you could really feel the frustration and his grief for his country, for his people. It was a wonderful speech, wonderful moment, and equally as powerful, Jonathan Glazer winning for The Zone of Interest, Best International Feature. It took a lot of courage for the way that he, as a Jewish man, linked his film to what is happening in Palestine. Fantastic. And I absolutely loved, I think this one quote of his from the speech. It was so true, and he said, all our choices were made to reflect and confront us in the present, not to say, look at what they did, but look at what we do now. That was, man, what a great moment. What a great movie. I really want to see that. I've heard nothing but amazing things. But yeah, in terms of like the other big emotional moments, Divine Joy Randolph winning for Best Supporting Actress for The Holdovers. What a big emotions out of her. Like getting walked up on stage by Paul Giamatti. That was beautiful. She just overflowing with emotion. She's crying. Paul Giamatti's crying. Her publicist is crying. It was wonderful moment. And what a way to kick off. Like, that was a good win, well deserved. A couple of upsets, actually. Boy and the Heron winning Best Animated Feature. I really thought that they would have given it to Spider-Verse, because, you know, it's a big movie, everybody loves it. But Boy and the Heron, it's not quite as accessible. It's more abstract than Miyazaki's other movies. But I guess they also love. The Academy does love honoring old masters most of the time, and they'd rather be sure that they awarded a Miyazaki movie while they had the chance, while he was still alive, and he just ignored it anyway. But yeah, that was a wonderful upset. I was happy to have called that correct. Other great big wins. Another big win for Japan. Godzilla -1 winning Best Visual Effects. Another great speech. Absolutely killed it, and loved that the team there, like, not only had their own like little individual Godzilla figurine, but they had like Godzilla shoes. I didn't believe it until I saw it. It's so cool. I want them. I want them now. I would wear them forever. Wear out the monster treads on those. But in terms of like I like just getting to hear the Godzilla theme as they're walking up to get their award, amazing. And but only that moment was outdone by Justin Triet winning Best Original Screenplay for Anatomy of the Fall, well deserved, by the way. And walking up to the instrumental cover of 50 Cent's PIMP. Holy shit, I was so jazzed. I was afraid that they wouldn't play that. That was so good. So good. Great speech, well deserved. Justin Triet was did fantastic work on that movie. But also another upset, American Fiction winning Best Adapted. I did not call that. I honestly thought, like, just the sheer feat of adaptation that of work that went into Oppenheimer. Like, if you've ever, like, not even just skimmed the book it's based on, but like held it in your hand, it's a dense book. It's a thick read, and to get all of that into into one single movie without missing out a whole lot of detail, that's incredible. But yeah, I'm very surprised it went to American Fiction, because personally, I've kind of soured on that movie the further I got away from it. I feel it sits more clunky and not quite as and not all of its elements are as well realized as I kind of thought it was when I first saw it. But to his credit, Cord Jefferson did a really good speech too, and I really that point about the business being very risk averse. So instead of maybe funding one $200 million movie, you could fund 20 $10 million movies. That really resonated with me. Can't be too mad at that. Also, another awesome win. Hoyt Van Hoytema winning for Best Cinematography. That guy is one of the greats. He has had an amazing career. Had from the Let the Right One In, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, like Dunkirk, Interstellar, Nope. I can't believe that he wasn't nominated for Nope. I can't believe Nope still was shut out all of that year. But like, regardless, like, I'm so glad that he finally got recognized. and really, as expected, there was the Oppenheimer sweep. From there, just clear. It was like like the winner of the night. You had great, you had Cillian Murphy winning Best Actor, delivering that Irish excellence, and Chris Nolan finally winning Best Director, and having it be presented by Steven Spielberg really feels like the icing on the cake, and like just. And yeah, it won Best Picture too, obviously. Like, it feels like a little too, like, yeah, we saw that coming, but it really is, it's so good that Oppenheimer winning Best Picture really is deserved. And it really is, this will go down as like, yeah, they got that right. Few people were complaining about that, but they're on an island. There may be dozens of them, but they're on that island away from everyone else. Though in terms of like really stealing the show, but actually in terms of upsets, man, Emma Stone beat out Lily Gladstone for Best Actress. I'm not mad that she won. This is one of those, like, I wish there was a tie at the very least, because man, like, Emma Stone's work in Poor Things is fantastic. Some of her best of all time, and she's had a great career. But, like, man, it would have been so amazing to have Lily Gladstone win, especially for her performance in Killers of the Flower Moon. There's so much warmth, so much heart. She is the beating heart of that movie. That cold, that sad, very dark movie. And to have her be there, and, like, and it also kind of doubles up because, like, I don't want, like, seeing a Martin Scorsese movie get nominated for a bunch of Oscars and win none of them. It's happened like 5 times now. And like I went home with nothing. That sucks. That sucks for Marty. It sucks for Lily. And you can kind of tell that, like, Emma Stone, like, was like it's like she like I have a feeling she maybe saw, like, people are gonna be mad about this. They're gonna be mad at me. Oh no, I'm happy, but also, oh no, I'm scared too. At least that's kind of a reading. Kind of a reading I think you could read into her the way she was talking. But man, but yeah, again, it's one of those things where, like, it's not a snub. I don't feel like she was robbed. She was. But it's kind of like with last year's Cate Blanchett versus Michelle Yeoh. Either one of them, I would have been happy either way. It was clearly one of the two. Again, I do wish it went to Lily, though. She was so great. But yeah, like, and I feel personally responsible for that, because, like, I remember I think I tweeted it out, and I was like, yeah, this is a really smooth, pretty good Oscars. I don't know if I should, like, be prepared for a last minute upset. And then, like, 5 minutes later, Emma Stone wins, and I'm like, oh no, Lily, I jinxed it for you. I'm sorry. That was like the last final. Man. The only, like, last groan moment outside of, like, a streak of just, like, highlight after highlight, like, deserved win after deserved win. And speaking of highlights, our national treasure, our Ken, Ryan Gosling, he didn't win Best Supporting Actor. I mean, kudos to Robert Downey Jr. You earned it after your service to the Disney Mines. But Ryan Gosling won our hearts. He won the audience's hearts. My God, he was so amazing. This is what happens when the Oscars remember to have fun and know how to have fun. Because, like, man, the Ryan Gosling in this great pink sequin suit, looking scrumptious, just serving absolute Kenergy in a phenomenal way. Wait, and, like, you had all these dancers. You had the other Kens, like Simu Liu and Kingsley Ben-Adir, like, show up, and man, and like, man, oh, I love the Bubsy Berkeley homage. I love the Marilyn Monroe homage. He got the crowd involved. He got like Emma Stone involved, and like the cameraman put his manly hand in his. That was amazing. God, oh man, God, he is. God, after that performance, I honestly did feel bad, kind of bad that I was right in saying Billie Eilish won, but I was a little upset to be right. But kudos to Billie Eilish. Like at the pace she's going, she'll have an EGOT before 30. So, man. But yeah, that was a really good night. I think all Oscars should kind of strive for this. Maybe get a better host. Maybe figure out how to fine-tune some of the presentation a little. Like show the clips, show the acting clips. We love that. Yeah, a lot of deserved wins. A lot of great movies. What a great year for the movies, man. I can't be too mad. And another great thank you to me. Maestro went home with nothing. Well deservedly. Thank you so much. Bradley Cooper, try even harder next time. And all of you, I'll be watching more movies, and I hope you keep watching more movies too, and I'll see you later.